Hello, and welcome to the MathLinks Core 2nd Edition Grades 6 through 8 Getting Started video series. In this session, we'll examine MathLinks assessments. Let's begin with formative assessment, which teachers constantly use to inform their instructional decisions. The most basic formative assessment is student questioning as a lesson progresses. What you see here are other options in MathLinks. Let's take a look at them one at a time. First up, pre-assessments. Some students may need just-in-time remediation as they enter a unit. The pre-assessments are not intended to be comprehensive, but they do offer an easy-to-use snapshot of some of the essential skills or prerequisites students should know for a course. You can find them in the teacher portal under General Resources. Journals are a great way to check in with your students to see their thinking about new concepts or skills. Consider using them as exit tickets on plain paper or as ongoing notebook entries. Look for this icon at the bottom of select Teacher Edition pages. It's important for students to monitor their own progress. Upon finishing each lesson, students self-assess on a scale from 0 to 3 for each lesson goal. And then they revisit these scores on the reflection page near the end of the unit. Look for this icon at the bottom of the last page of every lesson in the TE. We designed the MathLinks rubric for both formative and summative assessment. As a formative tool, students do rubric-worthy problems found in the student packets. Students have opportunities to self-assess and also peer assess, all the while strengthening their problem-solving and communication skills. You can find the rubric and ways to get students started using it in the teacher portal under General Resources. At the end of the review section of every student packet is a reflection page. This is a great way for students to take ownership of their learning. At the top, students determine which big ideas of the course are addressed within the unit. And after they identify those big ideas, they also draw lines between them to note important connections made. Students continue the reflection page by going back to the front cover and seeing which lesson goals they improved on. Then they focus on at least 1 or 2 math practice standards addressed in the unit. And finally, students are pointed to a particular connection to think about and discuss as the unit is being wrapped up. Let's move on to summative assessments. Teachers typically use these at the end of units or at specific points in the school year, like the end of quarters or semesters. All of these are correlated to Common Core standards to support data collection and reporting. Let's look at them one at a time. Every unit includes quizzes, and they come in 2 very similar forms to be used as teachers see fit. The problems look and feel like the ones that students have been doing within their packets. You can find them in the teacher portal for each unit. Every unit also has a short test. It's mostly multiple choice with a few short answer problems. You'll find these in General Resources on the teacher portal, not unit resources. We recommend combining them to make cumulative tests, like at the end of a quarter or trimester. Tasks engage students in solving multi-part problems that follow some theme or context and may require students to demonstrate multiple skills. Doing tasks regularly helps to prepare students for high-stakes end-of-year tests. If students are familiar with using the MathLinks rubric on rubric-worthy problems in the student packet, it's appropriate to use it for summative assessment on tasks. You can find them in the teacher portal for each unit. Projects are authentic multi-day experiences involving skills, concepts, and problem solving across 1 or more domains. They may incorporate research, require the collection and display of data, or the creation of a product. You can find projects in the teacher portal for most units. Finally, extra problems are another unit resource in the portal. They're organized by lesson and are appropriate for extra practice or may be used to create additional formative or summative assessments. Now, let's turn our attention to an important instructional tool, the assessment, follow-up, and feedback charts. They provide helpful ideas about assessment resources and responses to student assessment needs, unit by unit. Let's look at a few highlights of one of them. This part provides some insight into expected computation goals for the unit. This part gives some examples of potential teacher and peer feedback. These are available for each unit on the teacher portal in Unit Resources. The majority of this document gives guidance to determine if students are ready for lessons and if students met grade level goals. The first column states the lesson title, standards, and goals. The second has some formative, diagnostic, and just-in-time intervention ideas. And the last column provides formative and summative assessment options for evidence of student success with reteaching suggestions. To learn more about the program, please check out other Getting Started videos. The ones you see here are especially relevant to the information provided in this session. We hope you now have a better understanding of our assessments. Thank you for taking the time to learn more about MathLinks.